Hello, everybody, and welcome to this YouTube mini-series with myself and my collaboration partner, where we're going to be talking to you about everything to do with launching. We have launched ourselves, we have helped other people launch ourselves, and we know how much it takes to launch. So over the course of these next 5 videos, we're going to be showing you how you can really launch successfully and what you're going to need to do that calmly and in control so you can be your best self and show up for your ideal clients. I am Naomi and I am a content marketing strategist, and
I'm Carol and I'm an ops and implementation support specialist.
This first video is all going to be about clarity and planning. We both know, don't we, Carol, that clarity and planning is often the bit that people miss. So, Carol, in your experience, what have you seen from people that have launched that haven't done this bit properly? What goes wrong?
The first one for me, always the biggest standout for me, is the shock when people realise or find out that it's going to take a bit more than just a couple of weeks to pull a launch together. It's honestly and I don't, it's not surprising because you just don't realise the amount of stuff that goes on behind the scenes to pull a launch together. What you see when you're watching a launch is so different to what's going on behind the scenes. So because obviously it's so seamless and smooth, and that is all because there has been planning and clarity that's been put into the launch. So yeah, that is unfortunately the biggest one, is people thinking that's fine, it'll take a couple of weeks, I'll bang that service out, no problem. So yeah.
It takes so much more than that. And I mean, I have done the last minute launches myself, and by the time I finished the launch, whether it was successful or not, either way, I am shattered and I still have to deliver the thing I sold. And I'm too tired for it. It just wipes me out. And it's the worst feeling ever, because you feel like you've done all of this hard work and then you'll feel like you're doing a substandard service for people and they don't see that. And like you say, things take so much longer than you realize sometimes, don't they, as well?
They really do. They really
Yeah.
do.
So, Carol, give us some advice. What, from your perspective, would you do when it comes to clarity and planning?
Yeah, so I think it's that saying, what is it? Fail to prepare and prepare to fail. I think that is the most important thing to always have in mind when you're doing a launch. So yeah, get that planning in place. Plan it from start all the way through to finish. Plan for, unfortunately, things can go wrong. They don't always, but they can go wrong. So make sure you have a plan B, for if anything does go wrong as well. And if you plan all the way through, then you really you're straight away onto a winner for having that launch being that successful event that you really want it to be. So yeah, the first stage, as I say, is the clarity. You need to be thinking about what's your goal, first of all. What do you actually want from this launch? What is it that you're wanting to get out to the world, and what is it that you're wanting the world to give back to you as well? Is it a service or a membership or an offer? Think about that. You need to think about who it's for. So who is your ideal audience? What are their pain points? What exactly are you helping them with? Can you help them with? And yeah, just in a nutshell, think about your goals, your audience. You need to think about your timelines. As I said at the start, unfortunately, there can be those whirlwind launches, absolutely, but more often than not, they do take a lot longer than just a couple of weeks. So think about your timeline and how long everything really is going to take realistically. Because as Naomi said, they are exhausting. They can be very overwhelming. So the last thing you want to do is put that time pressure on yourself on top of everything else that needs doing. And if you basically don't do the planning, then you can end up feeling scattered. You're overreacting to everything. Everything is so much more tense than it needs to be. You're constantly second guessing yourself and every second, like every decision that you're making. But if you do the stage properly, my God, it's so much easier for you. You'll feel grounded, you'll feel calm, you'll feel in control. If anything does happen to go wrong, it's absolutely fine, because you know exactly what you can do to pull everything back on track. It's not the end of the world. things happen, and you'll know how exactly to get things back on track again. You won't let it phase you. So you'll basically be running that launch with confidence instead of letting that launch run you and you running yourself ragged the whole time. So yeah, before you create any single post or plan any single email or anything, just stop and ask yourself, do I really know where I'm going with this? What is the reason for it all?
Oh, that's amazing advice. And absolutely, I don't think I've done any launch where something hasn't gone wrong. So being able to have that agility to know you've got a plan and you can adapt it because you've got the confidence to do that. So from a content point of view and a marketing point of view, these are the things you need to be thinking about to start with. And like Carol was saying, before you even write those emails or any of that content, what I want you to do is really think about the tech you will need in place, what pages and what assets you might need. And when I'm talking about assets, I'm thinking about things like if you're doing Facebook groups, if you're doing a sales page, if you are creating graphics for people to share, anything you might need to create, start making a list of what those are, because they take more time than you think. A sales page can take an awful long time to write. And then the thank you pages, all of the stuff that you're going to need to promote this successfully, all of those kind of bits that you might need. Think about what they are. And I will also say, like, think about if that's not your strength, if that's not your area of expertise, who can help you do that? Who can take that stress away? Because they take time. And if it's not your thing, you're probably going to be spending more time worrying and wasting time doing that than you would be to outsource it. So also think about what analytics and tracking spreadsheets you might need in place, because throughout the launch we want to keep an eye on the numbers. Numbers don't lie, and when we can see what numbers are happening, how many people are signing up, who's opening emails, who's looking at pages, and a lead generator or personal outreach, as I like to call it, because I don't like calling people leads, tracker, so we can see how much we're communicating with people who are likely to buy from us and know which bits they're doing, so we can keep an eye on how we're going to do that outreach. If you get all these things set up now, it means that you're not having to guess how many people you're getting signed up throughout the entire launch. But also, I do want you to start thinking about what different content you might need. And the good news is you do need a lot of content, but you don't need to make lots of different types of content. We can repeat, rinse and repeat. You're going to be sick of talking about this by the end of it. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. You need to be absolutely. So it's about thinking about really, what is it that I need people to know and how am I going to take them on that journey? So if you don't do it at this stage, similar to what Carol was saying, you'll be scrambling for content and trying to create content on the fly, which will leave your audience confused. It's okay to add in content as you go. Like we plan for agility, we're able to put things in where we think actually someone's asked a really great question, which is relevant to my ideal clients, and I will share that. But what we want is a structure and a plan, so we're not having to do that as we go. If you don't also do any of that, you'll miss visibility opportunities. And this is a really good time to think about how you can grow your visibility. So launching isn't just about the sales, it's about the long-term game, it's about your visibility. So how will you get more eyes on your business? So this could be working with influencers, finding collabs like Carol and I are doing, so you can reach your audience beyond your own channels. We want to get more visibility and going out to more people. Where can you go that you don't normally? And you'll also be wasting time on tech headaches, because there are tech issues. There always are. It's just the joy of launching. Things happen, but we don't want to have the headaches while we're trying to make sales. We just don't have the capacity for that. But if you do all of this, you'll feel in control. You'll be able to get more visibility. You'll be more focused. You can put more effort into that personal outreach. You'll be showing up with the right content, be able to be more agile, and know that you're reaching the right people. So we are going to leave you with some tips that you can do for this stage. So Carol, what are your 3 tips?
Okay. Yeah, so before I do the actual tips, I just want to say that launching, it doesn't need to be that overwhelming and exhausting everything. It can be, but yeah, absolutely. It can be so much fun as well. I absolutely love launches. They make me buzz so much. So yeah, it doesn't have to be overwhelming and exhausted. It can be this really fun thing as well. And that's what we want to help make it for all of you as well. So yeah, so my 3 top tips for the clarity and planning, first of all, is to make sure you know everything that you need to have done. So as Naomi said, think about all the content that you need to have in place, all your emails, all your posts, all of that kind of thing. And then I would say make sure you have a timeline in place. Unfortunately, it's not normally a couple of weeks. You are usually looking on average about 8 to 9 weeks from the start, which includes all the planning, all your promos, the actual launch event itself, to the post-launch nurturing. So yeah, make sure with your timeline you're allowing about 8 to 9 weeks to get everything nice and happily in place. And then thirdly, again, as Naomi said, think about who's doing what. So whatever you need doing in that launch, if it's not something that you're an expert in, I'm not an expert in tech, so I would automatically outsource any tech things to an expert in that thing. So play to your strengths. If you have somebody who can do something, it's their zone of genius. Play to your strengths, stick in your own lane, do what you are an expert in for your launch, and have other people do what they're an expert in, support you with your launch and make your life easier.
Amazing. And yeah, absolutely. We have said it's quite overwhelming a lot. So absolutely, launches are fun. They can be really fun, but this is the important bit to get done first, because when you don't do this, it takes it away from being less fun. And what we want to aim for during a launch is all of those little light bulb moments, those little wins, and we'll be talking about that later on. So my 3 tips for you, absolutely very, very similar to Carole's, but they absolutely relate, is think about how you can get the most visibility from this launch. So when I'm talking about visibility, how you can reach more people beyond your own audience, how can you grow your followings, your email list, the people that would want to buy from you. And that could be looking at collaboration opportunities. So go and identify where you need to be, how you can grow that audience, and think about that. Get your tracking spreadsheets all set up, ready to go. Once those are up and running, you'll know that you've got that all in control, including your outreach planner. And make sure you know what tech and what pages, all of those kind of things that you do need ready, because that will really help you think about how this is all going to come together. And when we are talking about the timeline, we're talking about the timeline and deadlines. Set yourself targets for getting these things done all the way through, because again, things like a sales page can take a whole day to do. Sometimes they are a lot. The great news is that once you've done this process once, it's going to be so much easier, because you'll have all of that templating, you'll know what you're doing, and you learn as you go. But if you get all of this set up and set yourself those timelines to get it all done, and deadlines, it's going to make launching so much easier. But we're going to help you even further, because we're going to drop some resources. So have a look in the comments, in the description underneath these videos, because there'll be some links of where you can get some further resources to help you make sure that you absolutely know what you're doing with this and feel like you're in control. And if you have any questions, please do pop them in the comments below so we can help you make sure that you get launching successful. Because like we say, we know that launching can be fun, and it's so rewarding for many reasons, not just the bottom line figures. And that's what we're trying to do here. We want to get you ready, prepared, so you can really enjoy it, really have a good time, and bounce off the energy of the people involved. So thank you for listening to video number 1. We'll be back again with the next one, which is on the pre-launch buzz. See you then.
Bye.